Layers. Let's go ahead and create some layers in this program. And what layers are just basically assigning a line type and a color to a specific object or a line. And you can use those and you can turn them off, on. We're going to learn what a freeze and thaw is, and we're going to also take a look at lock and unlock. So let's go ahead and first create a couple of layers just to show you how to do that. So I'm going to click on the layer properties, or if you're a keyboard person, remember the shortcut is LA. Now I have my layer dialog box that appears. And here at the top, I can turn that. This is how I start a new layer. This one will deal with viewports, and we're going to take a look at viewports in the intermediate section. This if I want to delete a layer, and most importantly, I cannot delete a layer unless nothing or no objects are on that layer. And last but not least, I have a set layer current. And that set layer current just means that it's going to make it the checkbox here. So if I kind of spread that out a little bit, it'll give me the status. It'll say, hey, that status is that 0 is my only layer right now, so that's why it's the current one. So let's go ahead and create another layer. Click on this first icon. And now you can see by default it's going to take the properties of the layer that I had selected. So everything that I had on that layer, it brings it down to this layer. And I'm going to type this one and make it the hidden, H-E-D-D-E-N layer. Okay, I'll go ahead and hit enter after that. So now you see that it has created a layer named hidden. It's on right now. It's frozen. Well, actually, it's not frozen right now. It's thawed, and it's unlocked. And the color of it is black. I'm going to go ahead and change the color. Although it says white here, and I'll show you what that kind of does. I'll select on my little color swatch here, and now this appears. This color here, that's color number 7. It's actually black and white, so it depends on which way your screen looks. Right now, my background on my screen is white, so my line is showing up as black, although the color is saying white. If I change my background to black, then that one will appear white. So layer number 7 is a special one. Now I'm just going to select the color that I want to change this one to. I'll just make it red just so it'll show up on my screen. Select OK. And now you see that now I have created that hidden layer. It's on the red layer. Now I'm going to choose a line type, which is next. So I want you to select where it says continuous. Now it has a continuous solid line, and I need another line type. So the option that I'm going to use is going to be load. Now another dialog box appears. I'm just going to use the scroll and come down until I find the word hidden. A little bit later on, we'll figure out what these hiddens, this 0.5x and the 2x is meaning. But for right now, we're just going to create a layer, and we're just going to call it hidden, and we're going to use the hidden line type. Select OK. And now by default, when you come back to this one, it still leaves on the continuous, but I want to select the hidden one, so I'm going to select that now. And now when I select OK, you should see that line type change to hidden. If you want to give it a different line weight, you can, but in our case, we're not going to worry about this box. We're going to leave it as the default because we'll let the printer go ahead and decide what line weight we're going to use for this one. So we're going to leave that alone. And now my line weight is at the default. Transparency deals with how do I want it to appear on the screen. Do I want my layer to be really, really faint, or do I want it to show really prominent? In most of our cases, we're going to use it as 0. I don't think any example that I have, I'm going to make it transparent. But you do have an option. The plot style deals with the printer once again. So if I wanted to change this layer to show up as a different way, I can correct that in my plot style, but I'm going to leave that alone. The one that has the plot is an important one. Do I want this layer to be printed? So for example, if I put something on this hidden layer and I really don't want it to show up on the printer, but I still need it on my screen, I have an option if I click this box to make it not print. I'm just gonna make sure I take that off because I don't want the little stop sign, and you can see that it has the little do not or stop sign print on it. I'll go ahead and take that off. This next category deals with if I want to deal with a viewport, and once again, like I said, we'll deal with that later on down in the courses. And we have a description. So if I want to give it a description, I can. It's really not necessary. Alright, so I'll go ahead and create one more layer just to get you the practice of doing it. So once again, I have this hidden layer that is highlighted. when I select new layer, it should take all the properties of my hidden layer, which it did. I'll change this one to center. Enter. Next, I'll go ahead and change the color on this one just to give myself some practice with it. I'll make this one green. Okay. Now that one is green, and I want to change the line type of this one. So I'm going to select on the words hidden. I'll select the load. Scroll down to center. Select it. Okay. Now I'll go and select center. Okay. And now you will see that that line type is on the center layer. Alright, I think I'm done with creating the layers that I need. Right now my 0 layer is still the one that's current. If I do select another one and I hit this button here and I tell it to select, you should see something happen on your ribbon, and now you can see that this is now my current layer. So everything I create will be on the hidden layer. I'll do that again on the center layer. So if I select center and now I select the set current, everything is on the center layer. There's another way we can do this, and I'll show you on the outside, but I'll come back to the 0 and I'll go ahead and set that to current, or I can double click over here in this column and it will also jump it back up to the current. So let's go ahead and close out of this dialog box. I want you to go ahead and create some just lines on your screen, and it really doesn't have to be anything special. Escape. And now if I want to change one of these lines to one of those layers, I'll select the line first. I'll come select the drop down, and then I'll select what layer I want it to be on. So I'll select the hidden. Now I'll hit escape twice just to go ahead and clear it, and now you can see that that line is on the hidden layer. Let's go ahead and change this one on the center layer, so I'll select it. Selecting the pull down as my center layer. So now you can see that my line is on the center layer. If yours is showing up as a solid line, it's usually because you got your line type scale that needs to be adjusted, and we'll discover that a little bit later. So what I want you to do now is just really understand that if the colors are changing, then everything is happening fine. So if you don't see the dash lines or the center line here, that's okay. But if the colors has changed, then that's fine. If I wanted to change one of these to my other current ones and I didn't want to go back to the dialog box, I can come up here without anything selected, and now I'll just select the layer, and now that one will become my current layer. So now I can draw a line, and any object that I create is going to be on that hidden layer. Or if I create a circle, you'll see that it's on that hidden layer. Okay, I'll go ahead and make my 0 layer back to current one. And that should be everything that you need to know about layers.